Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 36th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to check out a few more numeric functions, and the first one that we're going to have a look at is the ceil function or the ceiling function. And what this function does is if you pass to it a number, then it returns the next higher integer, right? So let's just see it in action. I'll bring my cursor in the MySQL workbench window, and I'll type in select first and then the name of the function, which is CEIL, and then within parentheses I'll pass a number argument, and let me pass in 35.40, right? So we know that the next higher integer for this number is 36. So if I would press Control Enter, I would see that in the result set I get 36 as the answer, right? And you can say that the counterpart of this function is floor, and what floor does is it returns the next lower integer to the number that's passed as an argument. So in case of 35.40, we know that the next lower number is 35, right? So when I would press Control Enter, I would get 35 as the answer in the result set for this number, right? And the next function that we're going to check out is the exp function, and what this does is it returns the power to the exponent base, which is known as e, right? And it basically raises e to the power the number that's passed in as an argument, right? So if I would execute this function with an argument 5, then I would basically get e to the power 5 in the result set, right? And this should be close to 148. Yeah, that's what it is, right? So we know that the value of e is close to 2.7. So if you would raise 2.7 to the power 5, this is you'll get a value that's similar to this, right? The next function that we're going to check out is the natural log function, and the name of that function is log. And if suppose you want to calculate the natural log of 2, you type in log, and then within parentheses you just type in 2 and press Control Enter, and this is what it is. The natural log of 2 is 0.693, and if you want to calculate the log of 2 to the base 10, that is not the base e but base 10, and that value we know is 0.3010, so that you would get by typing in log 10 as the function name and not just log, right? And the next function that we're going to check out is the power function, and I don't know if we've discussed this function already in this course or not, but this function takes in two arguments and both have to be numbers, right? So if suppose you want to raise 2 to the power 7, let's say, then you type in 2 first and then put a comma and then the second number, which in this case would be 7, but it could be anything. You could raise anything to the power anything and press Control Enter. You would see that 2 to the power 7 is 128. So if you want to verify the result of the exp function that we got earlier, I know that the value of e is I guess 2.718, and I guess we raised it to the power 5 to get 148 point something. So yeah, that's what it is, right? And this is not the exact value of e, it's actually recurring decimal, so it's 2.718 something something something. So if you would raise it to the power 5, you would get the exact answer, right? So that's the power function. It's POW. And the next one that we're going to check out is the greatest function, right? It's not actually the greatest function, but the name of the function is greatest. So what it does is it takes in a list of numbers and it returns the highest number in the list, right? So let me give it an elaborate list like 5, 3, 1, 77, 9, 11, 6, 3, 3, 89. Right, that's big enough, and when I press Control Enter, I see that the result said I get 89, and this is a very useful function. I'm sure that people who haven't heard of this function but are seeing it now for the first time, you guys must have already started wondering about the kind of things that you can do with this. I mean, all those programs that we make in programming languages, when we learn programming languages to find out the largest of 3 numbers, 6 numbers, if you're doing scripting, you could use this function in the back end and you could do all those things so conveniently, right? It's a very useful function. And then the counterpart of this function is least, right? And what this does is it returns the smallest number in the list that's passed to it as an argument. So for this list, if I would execute, I would get the answer as 1, because 1 is indeed the smallest number. And if I would change any of these numbers to a negative number, let's say I'll take this to minus 77, Now if I would execute, I would get minus 77 as a result, right? Because minus 77 is a negative value and it's obviously smaller than all of these. So that's it for now. I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one, in which we'll discuss something interesting for sure. And you may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and take care.